Thanks again for joining us. I'm Dr. George Jackson, the Dean of Student Services at Weimar College, and I've got one of our latest staff members, Bonnie Dent, is with me today. Bonnie, we're very excited that you've come to join us. This is your first semester here. Tell us a little bit about where you're from, what your background is before coming to Weimar, maybe.
Well, before I came here, I was quite a few years at Andrews University. I graduated there in 1990 in physical therapy and specialized in pediatrics, and worked in the area of pediatrics in the local area, Michiana area. And then about 4 years into doing that, I started doing some teaching for Andrews in the physical therapy department in different clinical classes, and then did still a little bit of pediatric practice.
And that's been for the last quite a few years now.
Right, yeah, up until a mixture of teaching and clinical practice up until the past
So
year
that's
or two.
Andrews University and working in clinics near, not far away from Andrews.
Right, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Right, so you're from Michigan originally, or that's your home, or that's your living?
Indiana before Andrews, but then.
And you're
Michigan.
a mom? Tell us a little bit about
I
your
am.
family.
I have 3 children. I have a freshman in college that's here at Weimar College. I have a senior in academy at Weimar Academy, and I have a freshman at the academy, which is part of what brought me here. So,
right, so you had like 3 kids attending school here. You're
Right.
in Michigan.
Right.
What does your husband do?
He has a hardware business in Berrien Springs.
Like
yeah.
a mile, you were saying?
Yeah, it's
from
very close to
Andrews.
university, right.
So you have this, probably people from the Andrews area probably know about the hardware
We
store.
do, yeah,
I
they
guess,
do,
people
yeah.
that are there.
Yep. Mm-hmm, yeah.
Okay, so you've got this problem. You've got 3 kids wanting to come to Weimar. You've got this business there, and it seems almost more practical that maybe it might be easier for you to come with them rather than flying the kids back and forth.
Right. We tried to figure out how we could all maybe be back and forth, and my husband's in the middle of a business expansion, so he's not as flexible right now. My job was a little bit more flexible, and so we decided to kind of try to stay together as a family as much as possible. So to do that, I'm here and he comes back and forth as often as he can.
So he's commuting back and
Right,
forth in
right.
between the business expansion. So I
Right.
know that's a great sacrifice for you. And we are just thrilled to have you in our department, which puts us into the next step of you coming here with your kids, because
Right.
we had a tremendous need in the health sciences department. All our pre-nursing students, as well as our pre-med students, and some of the theology students even, need to take anatomy and physiology, or A&P as they call it. And
Right.
it's not easy to find someone qualified. It's a very complex class. It's a very in-depth class. It goes for the whole year. There's a lab, and you were looking like you were available, and I remember that's when we started the dialogue, trying to work out the details, and we're thrilled that it all worked out. So tell us a little bit about your duties now that you're here at Weimar with your family members here.
Well, as you said, I am teaching anatomy and physiology, and also a fit and wellness course for these variety of students. It's kind of an interesting mix, like you said, of theology students and nursing, massage therapy students, and some pre-physical therapy students. So that's primarily what I am doing now. It's an interesting time to go back and take a class that you taught, almost 30 years ago. And after the fact of quite a few years of clinical practice, it's neat to integrate some of that into it, and you kind of see it in a different perspective from a clinical aspect now. So that's been exciting. It's also been exciting to integrate a lot more of what Ellen White has to say about this type of learning of this subject, and also apply some scriptural concepts to what we're learning. So that's been a real exciting journey that to take with the students, who are great.
Yeah, it's exciting that to actually bring, I love to be able to bring somebody in that's either been a researcher or working in the field. And I know this year particularly, a lot of our pre-professional students are interested in physical therapy. My son Adam's one of them.
Right.
And to have a person that has worked in the field to be their teacher, I know is very inspiring for the students, and you can mentor the students and give them advice. And it looks like that's a growing area of physical therapy. Seems to be students that maybe don't want to be a doctor,
Right.
but they want to maybe do some sort of health ministry. And
Right.
physical therapy, I mean, they're never going to be out of a job, right? There's always going to be hurting people that need help.
Yeah, yeah, well, it's been a good job market.
And yet you can minister in such a wonderful ministry as well, because
Right.
you can help people to feel better, you can help them get their health back, and then you can minister to them, I guess, as you're doing that. In your case, it was with what, young babies or
Right,
children?
infants and children, some pre-adolescent, but yeah.
Okay, ministering to children in your job.
Right.
Wow. And how are you finding your experience here? Has it been, that's right, the massage students are another group, so it's like the pre-nursing, the
Right.
massage, and then many of the pre-professional students, and many of our theology students. It's just a good, solid class for them to take.
Right.
You have quite a dynamic mix then of students.
I do, and it's interesting because they're all being prepared for a diverse realm of fields. So you try to kind of bring out something for all of them, something that will relate to all of them. So it's been good. They're a great group of students. They're all enthusiastic. It's interesting, some of them are new into college, so they're kind of getting the feel for college at the same time, and as they're trying to learn a lot of these concepts. So it's been great. They have a great attitude, and they're working hard, and the theology students, I think, are getting a lot of sermon material because the body's amazing. We're fearfully and wonderfully made, and so I think it's mind-blowing to them sometimes, because this is a lot that's very new to them because they weren't primarily so science-focused. So it's been great for them, and it's also great for the others as they see how they're going to apply this.
You know, it is interesting, and you face that. I was just lecturing today on cell communication in first-year biology, and as I was explaining all this, it was just so obvious that this was all interconnected. You can't, how can cells evolve before they can communicate? I mean, it just doesn't work.
Right.
And it was so intricate, and there's so many different ways that even at the cellular level, communication is taking place between the cells, and cells are associating together as the body grows. I mean, it really is very confirming to your faith that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. It is just, at whatever level you look at it.
Yeah, at every level. Yeah, I know we started out, at the beginning of the year, at the atomic level, and then you move to molecules, and you move to cells and tissues, and just to see the power in that, and at the same time studying the last days of Christ and see how that power was all given up and could have been utilized to save himself, but he didn't. He gave it up to save us, and that's very powerful that you keep the context of the cross in light of what you're learning of God as the creator, but also who chose to be crucified, and that it's powerful. There's lessons in it all the time. I think that is one of the reasons why I think Ellen White encouraged the study of physiology for everybody, and also the context that it has with health. And I think that the students have a great opportunity here because they are getting so much information about health, and to integrate that with what we're learning in physiology is very powerful.
It is. It really. I mean, we have the Bible, and it's part of nature, God's other book. You're looking at how the body is put together and the lessons. I find the same thing. There's all these spiritual lessons that come out all the time in class, and that's really the vision of why we're here, isn't it? We want to bring all these things together in the complete package as we train students to go out. They may be physical therapists, they may be doctors, they may be nurses, but they've come out of an institution where their faith has been confirmed and strengthened.
That's right.
Rather than so many young people in institutions, they lose their faith.
Right.
And we really, I mean, that's so much with our vision to bring those spiritual truths into our class. Well, Bonnie, I know I'm looking forward, you're going to help out in first year biology next year to bring an anatomy and physiology component there. I know you'll probably be picking up another class. So we're just thrilled. You are filling such an important role here in the college and in the health sciences department. So we're grateful that you're here. We're so glad it worked out with your family. So thanks again for joining us, and we do trust that you'll have a blessed day.